it looks like Zack Snyder may have had more of an impact on Aquaman than many people might think. I know he is listed, he and Deborah Snyder, his wife, are listed as producers on Aquaman. But I think, I think for the most part, they aren't really directly involved in shaping these movies anymore after, the Justice League transition. But, James Wan, according to this article and what at least one source said, did work with Zack Snyder, I guess on the sly, at least initially, to help, or against, I don't know if on the sly, but against, I guess, WB's wishes, to help distance his version, James Wan's version of Aquaman, from the way Joss Whedon had written and portrayed Aquaman in Justice League. There was a gentleman, Neil Daly. He oversaw test screenings for Justice League and James Wan's Aquaman. He claimed in a recent podcast episode of Fire and Water that Snyder had a role in helping Wan distance Momoa's portrayal of Aquaman from his earlier appearance in Justice League under Joss Whedon's direction. Now, if you remember in Justice League, I'm one of the people who actually thought some of the humor that Joss Whedon put in Justice League was funny. For example, there was one scene, this is an Aquaman specific scene, where Aquaman accidentally sat on or was grabbing Wonder Woman's lasso of truth that compels people to tell the truth. And it was making him say all this stuff about how, attractive he thought she was. I thought that was funny, but I know that there are a lot of people who didn't like that, and they thought it made Aquaman look dopey, and they thought that, him talking about how attracted he was to Wonder Woman kind of demeaned her in a way, by focusing on her appearance. I didn't really see it that way. I took it as a lighthearted, fun moment, but that's just me. But, that's the kind of Aquaman that I guess Zack Snyder was helping James Wan, abandon for a better Aquaman. I guess the one we got in the movie. Which I actually thought I didn't think he was that different from the one in Joss Whedon's version, but whatever. Here's the quote from this actor that I mentioned before. "We could have gotten a whole movie about Aquaman basically fawning over Mera the whole time and making all kinds of dirty jokes and things like that, and they really had to get away from that, which is all what Joss Whedon had done. So Snyder had a little bit of an influence on Aquaman," Daly explained. James Wan was showing Zack Snyder, against the studio's wishes, cuts of the movie and early test screenings and storyboards to make sure that they're on the same page with what he originally wanted, and Snyder gave his blessing of approval, bringing it back to what he wanted all along. Now that's cool. I'm not against, James Wan doing this. If he felt he needed to consult with Zack Snyder to make him feel more comfortable with the movie and the way he was doing the main character, Aquaman, that's fine. I did like Zack Snyder's version of the DCEU that we got initially, but I'm pretty adaptable and open-minded. I know Warner Brothers wants to pivot away from that. I'm still on board. But I actually didn't dislike the way Aquaman was in Justice League, but maybe I'm in the minority among a lot of DC fans. Like I said before, they didn't like a lot of the stuff that Joss Whedon put in there. I thought that some of Joss Whedon's jokes were legitimately funny. I thought that some fell flat, but I feel I understand what he was trying to do. And I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. But, I guess James Wan didn't. Which is why he called Zack Snyder up and was like, man, help me. Help me get away from this. And I guess Zack Snyder did it. And it worked, right? Aquaman made over $1 billion, so I guess whatever Zack Snyder and James Wan wanted to do, what they collaborated on, whatever tweaks they made, mission accomplished. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.